Hi, thanks again for tuning in to Sin's Workshop here on YouTube. Hope you're all having a great day. I hope you all can hear me fine because I started recording this and I don't have my mic on me. So hopefully I don't have to re-record this, otherwise it's going to be a little annoying. So today we're going to be talking about Prelude for Lost Souls by Helen Dunbar. I actually really enjoyed this novel. I really did. It was something different, which I thought was really interesting. I mean, it follows three characters. It follows Deck, Russ, and Annie. All three of them are very different characters, and they're brought together by this unfinished musical composition. It's called the Prelude for Lost Souls. Now, Deck and Russ are part of a spiritualist community. They're a community of mediums. They make their money that way, and it's really interesting because it's if you read the acknowledgments, I sometimes do, I skim them, but it is loosely based on an actual spiritualist community of a bunch of mediums, and you don't have to believe in that stuff to enjoy this book. Me, do I believe in it? I don't. I believe in a lot of things. Not sure on this. I do believe in ghosts. I work in a movie theater, and there's this. It's haunted. I wish I could show you the footage of this wine bottle just moving. And we all watched, me and all the managers, we all watched this. It's moving slowly, 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 and then it jumps. And then it tips over. That was weird. There's really no reason for this wine bottle that starts off at the back of this wall to start here. Slowly move. And then jump. And then it was, haunted. So yeah, I believe in ghosts. I believe in the afterlife. I do believe in spirits and all that stuff. So that's me. I know a lot of people don't, and that's okay. We're all entitled to our own beliefs, but you don't have to believe in that stuff to enjoy this novel. I wasn't really thinking of my personal beliefs when I was reading this novel. I was really just kind of intrigued. I want to say, while it was good, the character dynamics did seem a little disjointed. Annie and Deck, their stories, their individual stories, they really do mesh together quite well. Whereas in the beginning, I would say for the first half of the book, Russ just feels like a third wheel. They all have their own internal stories. Deck wants nothing more than to escape this spiritualist community, and Annie, she's just trying to find herself after the death of her mentor. And she gets landed here, and she wants to finish. She wants to finish this composition. She wants to finish the Prelude for Lost Souls. She actually is a world-famous pianist, at such a young age. And the reason their stories mesh together is because after the death of his parents, Deck was lost, and he found solace, he found peace in watching her perform on YouTube. So her music has already sort of drawn in that connection between these two characters. So you're expecting something more from their dynamics. Russ is Deck's best friend, but he really doesn't have a connection to Annie. He doesn't really have a connection to this composition. And his story is all about being a better medium, showing the city council that he is powerful, that he should be the next student leader, because he wants to change the organization from the inside out. It's a little warped, this organization. They sort of do, there's a word for it, and I can't think of that word. They do matchmaking to sort of make sure that more powerful mediums keep getting born. So they're kind of treating their community kind of like livestock. You know, they want to breed stronger medium, so they want to match the strongest people with the strongest people. So it's a little warped, this community. And I think a lot of the young people, they're either okay with the status quo, and then you have people like Deck and Russ that are not, and Russ wants to change it from the inside out. And in order to do that, he has to prove to the council that he's pretty powerful. Now, initially, it doesn't seem like these two stories, it doesn't seem like they kind of connect. Like I said, Russ feels like a bit of a third wheel, and his story, it's interesting, but it feels like it's its own story. It's not as the story starts to progress that you're finally seeing, oh, this is how they connect, but it takes a while to get there, which is unfortunate. I felt like because of these two separate stories, you're not really, I think on a second read I would probably appreciate it more, because once you're past that kind of halfway mark, you're seeing how these stories are connected, so you're understanding the connection between these characters more than just, oh, he's his best friend, oh, her music inspired him, you're seeing more. So I think, if you pick up this novel acknowledging that, I think you'll enjoy it more than I probably did, because I'm telling you that these stories connect. They are going to connect, and they do connect in a really great way, and they connect through this spirit, through Tristan. Tristan has sort of been with Deck his entire life, and Deck doesn't realize how powerful he is as a medium, and he's the only one who can see Tristan. No one else can see Tristan, which is really interesting, because he's a ghost. He's a spirit, but he's not a spirit. His father cursed him to be bound to this magical composition, and have it never be finished. So in order to save Tristan from this curse and put his spirit at rest, they have to complete the musical composition. But the story becomes more than just completing this this musical composition, which is magical. It's about the characters, it's about their stories, about this community, and it's about character growth. So it becomes more of a character-driven story than anything. There's not really a lot of action. It's all about these characters discovering themselves and figuring things out together as people. And I think it's really interesting that, there we go. Nope, now it's too far. Sorry, I thought I had this level before. There we go. Oh, that's so much better. But you're really seeing who these characters are. You're seeing how they develop. You're seeing the intrigue and their dynamics and their exploration of character. I'm gonna sneeze, oh my god. And this program doesn't have a pause button. I use Power Director to make sure that my videos render in 1080p. If I had more memory on my phone, I would render them in 4K. But I don't. I have lots of pictures of my son and my cat on my phone, so that takes up a lot of space. Oh, and ebooks. I have ebooks on there too. But I think this becomes a really intriguing piece of art, because it's interesting. As I was reading this novel, I could kind of hear the music. Dunbar does an excellent job with highlighting this musical composition and giving life to it. You don't hear music when you read, I think think it'd be really interesting as an audiobook if they find someone and they come, they do this, they create the Prelude for Lost Souls and they sort of have it lingering in the background of all the audio. I think that would be really cool because that's how it felt to me when I read it. I felt like I could hear the music, Maybe that's the beauty of it. I think we all have sort of our own haunting tune that really resonates with us. And I think that's part of the beauty. Like, I heard this beautiful musical composition in my head, and I heard it through the detailing, through the impact this piece of music had on the characters. I felt it. It was emotional. It was beautiful. But I think it's going to resonate differently with people. But I do think it'd be interesting as an audiobook if you had it sort of lingering in the background of the performance. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, that's why I'm on speakers. I'm listening to Bloodleaf right now on audiobook, but I have it paused, obviously. Can't really record and listen at the same time. I mean, I could, but then I don't think you'd really understand me. You'd be too busy trying to listen to the book, probably. Or maybe that's what you want. Maybe you don't want to listen to me. Anyway, I thought it was a lovely book. I thought it was hauntingly beautiful how Dunbar evolves this story from, 3 separate characters to join them into making a really complete narrative on and exploring character. It's a character-driven novel. I think character-driven novels, they're not for everyone. Just because a lot of people prefer action, they like adventure, and that's sort of their thing. I have to say, that's mostly my thing too. Here's so frizzy. It's been super humid here in Florida. But a lot of people, they need things to be happening in the story. And, I read a lot of stories that there's not really a whole lot happening, plot-wise. It's just all about the characters. Like, you're learning who these characters are, you're discovering who they are, you're listening to them, you're getting to know them, and I think it's really interesting how that works out. Especially if a writer is able to really connect the reader to her characters, and Dunbar does that. I think she executes the story very well. She's very good at her pacing. She's really good at bringing these 3 characters together. She's really good at evolving the plot, bringing in Tristan, bringing in another ghost whose name I forgot. I think it's James, but I'm unsure. He was a little bit of an obnoxious ghost, so he wasn't really my favorite. But I think it's really cool how she's taking all these characters and she's wrapping them together to create a compelling narrative, a compelling story. And I think it's really says something about her prose, the fact that I was able to sort of imagine this music as I'm reading this novel. It says a lot about her attention to detail and the way she structures the story to evolve it from one thing into something else completely. But it evolves in such a cohesive manner that the reader is just lured into it. The reader is on this journey with these characters. And I always think that's a great aspect of storytelling. If you are able to connect to it on any level and just enjoy the journey, then the author has done their job. I think it was beautiful. I think it was amazing, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So once again, this is Prelude for Lost Souls by Helen Dunbar. I give it 4 stars. I hope you guys will support the author and purchase the novel on bookshop.org. I highly recommend bookshop.org because a percentage of all the proceeds do go to supporting local booksellers. If money's too tight or if you're hesitant about the novel, pick it up from your local library. Libraries are a great resource and they deserve all the support we as a community can give to them. And I hope you will support me by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and as always, happy reading!